Before the James Harden trade, I made a prediction about the Brooklyn Nets saying that they were going to have a bad defense and a rough offense and get bounced in the second round of the playoffs. Now, my prediction wasn't bad. I mean, their offense was actually really good. Their defense was even worse than I thought it would be, and they still looked like a team that would definitely get bounced in the second round, if not even earlier. But then something happened that I thought would never happen. James Harden and Kyrie Irving compromised. Yes, they compromised. Everybody thought that they'd be the Nets' downfall, them fighting over the ball, taking too many shots away from Kevin Durant. And even when you look at their off-the-court actions, Kyrie Irving just vanished, and James Harden was acting out in Houston. So how could this team work, right? Well, Kyrie went up to James Harden and said, you know what? You play point guard, I'll play shooting guard. And they've never looked back since. I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos are LeBron and Lakers fans. You guys have to acknowledge that the Brooklyn Nets are now a real threat. With James Harden running the points position, they have the most deadly offensive iso ball one-on-one player. And on his left, he has Kyrie, and on his right, he has KD. I know that win over the Lakers wasn't the best because they didn't have Anthony Davis or even Dennis Schroeder, but the Nets didn't have KD. I think if both teams are healthy, I'm still taking the Lakers, but the Nets have more time to gel even more and figure things out. The defense is definitely still a problem, and a big one at that. I know they held the Lakers to 98 points, but the Lakers couldn't hit a three to save their life, and I already mentioned how injured the Lakers were. I think we're still going to see them move in and out of the lineups quite a bit. You're not going to see all three of them every single night, but in the playoffs, you are, and that's when it matters. They're going to have shortened rotations, and since they'll be playing teams in 7-game series, they'll be able to make adjustments to the opposition, and when you have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden for your offense, how are you supposed to guard that consistently every night? When it comes to Harden, everybody would tell me that he's willing to sacrifice for his team, he just hasn't needed to in Houston, and that he only scores that much because he has to win. While I agree that he had to score that much to win on some nights, I still didn't see James Harden as a person that's willing to sacrifice, and so when he went to Brooklyn, I was really thinking that it was going to be Kyrie versus James Harden. One of them was going to have to sacrifice, and neither of them would want to, because remember, Kyrie left LeBron because he wanted a bigger role, and then he had his own team. Now he's willing to go with KD, but to Kyrie, it felt like, yeah, KD's number one, but I'm okay with being number two again. I'll still take a ton of shots because LeBron does a little bit or a lot of it of everything, while Kevin Durant just likes to score. But Kevin Durant's a really efficient scorer. He can score around 15 shots if he needs to. So that's why I thought Kyrie was like, I can make it work with KD. So when I saw the rumors that Harden was going to go there, that's where I thought it'd be too much for Kyrie to handle, and I thought James Harden would go in there and be like, hey, I'm going to play my game. But that's not what's happened at all. So we got to give the Nets some credit for sacrificing, but at the same time, we can't give them too much credit. I mean, when you have that many superstars, you have to make it work eventually, right? But let me know in the comments, how serious of a threat do you think the Brooklyn Nets are to the Los Angeles Lakers? Also, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. And I'll see you in the next upload.